All India Radio. Seithikadambam.
சென்னையில் நடைபெற்ற G20 தொடர்பான சுற்றுச்சூழல் பணிக்குழு மற்றும் அமைச்சர்கள் கூட்டத்திற்கு பின்னர் செய்தியாளர்களிடம் பேசினார் மத்திய சுற்றுச்சூழல் மற்றும் வனத்துறை அமைச்சர் திரு பூபேந்தர் யாதவ். அவர் பேசும்போது,
The G20 ministers stand united in their commitment to create a sustainable and resilient future. Meeting was started with the message of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, where Honorable Prime Minister emphasized India's stand for environment, the tradition of Tamil culture to preserve and conserve the nature. Prime Minister gave a specific reference of the wisdom of Tamil literature, and G20 members commended India for its leadership and hard work in addressing the issue related to climate and environment and coming up with the chair summary and the outcome document. In the G20 presidency, there is a key themes for the ECSWG. First, arresting land degradation, accelerating ecosystem restoration, enriching biodiversity and water resource management. Second, promoting a sustainable and climate resilient blue economy. And third, encouraging resource efficiency and circular economy. Under the first theme, arresting land degradation, accelerating ecosystem restoration and enriching biodiversity, the presidency document on Gandhinagar implementation roadmap and Gandhinagar information platform for strengthening the G20 global land initiative was launched. The roadmap to enhance mutual collaboration among participating countries to accelerate ecological ecosystem restoration of the forest fire impacted area and mining affected areas. Under the same theme, Presidency also released the compendiums of best practices on the following three topics. First, restoration of mining affected areas. This document is a compilation of knowledge and best practices on ecological restoration of mining affected areas. Second, restoration of forest fire affected areas. The compendium covers models for planning, prevention, preparedness, response, and recovery from the forest fire, including community initiatives undertaken by countries in this regard. And third, on water management, the compendium of the best practices on water management will enhance knowledge exchange among G20 countries as well as non-G20 countries to conserve water and restore and develop water-related ecosystem through sustainable development approaches. Under the theme of resource efficiency and circular economy, 4 presidency documents were released. First, knowledge exchange on circular economy in the steel sector. This document highlights 4 key strategies on transition toward a more sustainable steel sector, which may serve as a blueprint for net zero pathway for the steel industry, reduce resource utilization and utilize wastage. Second, knowledge exchange on circular bioeconomy. This document expands on the opportunities, innovation, best practice and successful intervention, especially related to the utilization of municipal and industrial waste, agriculture residue and non-food crops from degraded land, which are vital to the growth of the bioeconomy sector. And third, knowledge exchange on extended producer responsibility for circular economy. This document reflects a compilation of the different EPR approaches adopted by various countries, which can be leveraged by policy makers in framing and implementing EPR policies in their respective countries. Presidency also issued a document on resource efficiency and circular economy industry coalition. This document provides the background and context for the establishment of resource efficiency and circular economy industry coalition, and we know that it is an achievement in this G20 that initiated under the India's G20 presidency. It presents a review of the current landscape on circularity, including current baseline, the major challenges faced and potential opportunity to increase the adoption of circularity by the industries. Apart from that, there is a high-level outcome document on Chennai high-level principle for sustainable and resilient blue ocean-based economy. And under this same theme, there are 2 presidency documents. First, G20 report on action against marine plastic litter. This report is rich repository of knowledge about the implemented policy, achievement, challenges and best practices contributed by 30 countries in their fight against the passing issue of marine plastic pollution. Second, technical study on accelerating the transition to a sustainable and resilient blue economy. This study identifies various approaches taken by G20 countries to the blue ocean-based economy and identify measures to foster and facilitate collective G20 members' action for preservation and sustainable utilization of ocean resources. We know that India assumed this G20 presidency on 1st December 2022, but our work had already commenced long back. The ECSWG issue note highlighted key principles for addressing climate change and fostering sustainable development. The first three G20 ECSWG meetings took place in Bengaluru, Gandhinagar and Mumbai, which saw active participation from the delegates, demonstrating their support and dedication to the outlined objective. In the line of our Honorable Prime Minister's vision to promote community action for sustainable lifestyle, Mega Beach Cleanup activity was organized, which saw participation of 14 G20, 6 invitee countries and 13 Indian coastal states and UTs. The concluding meeting in Chennai saw the highest participation of ECSWG with participation from 34 ministers from G20 countries and guest countries and total about 225 delegates. The ECSWG journey under India presidency concluded with adoption of a outcome document and chair summary. I have already informed you that the meeting began with the video message of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. He expressed his confidence on G20 countries joining hand to tackle the climate and environmental challenges in holistic way in the true spirit of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, one earth, one family and one future. Distinguished leaders from the international organizations like UNEP, UNFCCC, CBD and UNCCD and COP28 delivered the keynote address. Thereafter, presidency documents that were developed under various themes were launched. In the concluding session, the G20 countries adopted the outcome document and the chair summary. The ministers will now proceed for the excursion to the UNESCO Heritage Monument Site and Pride of the India, Mahabalipuram. Immediately, there are some other outcome also with this G20 meeting that apart from this core meeting, India's G20 presidency had over 50 in-person and virtual line-by-line negotiation session in order to build a consensus and find a common landing zone while taking into consideration different perspectives. The launch of industry-led resource efficiency and circular economy industry coalition marked another milestone under India's G20 presidency. This G20 ministers appreciated India presidency for launching this REC-EIC. We also created a wealth of knowledge in working group, told you about the 10 presidency document. In the last, I want to say that we followed an inclusive and integrated approach by inviting and taking cognizance of the perspective of invitee countries and international organizations as well.
இத்துடன் இன்றைய செய்திக் கதம்பம் நிறைவு பெறுகிறது.